How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I'm going to be making my way too early Battle Royale prediction on this upcoming BR reward that we're going to get on October 13th. So basically we have this updated schedule that we're going to look at here. I'll hide the face cam, we'll talk about the clues, we'll talk about the potential players, and we'll also have some free packs from the stream earlier today. Now keep in mind, it says right here on the schedule that the Flawless Choice Pack will add a Signature Series Legend. So this is going to be one player, and it's going to be a Legend player. We don't want to be guessing any current players that are still playing right now. It says here Signature Series Legend. There's also a pack sale going on, or a flash sale going on for some packs within the pack store. I talked about this and how to purchase them. If you're not on your console, you can go through MLB The Show Nation, and that is a very effective way to get these packs, maybe if you're at work or if you're on your phone. Now, the only pack I wouldn't really recommend purchasing is the Live Series Diamond pack, but I think they also lowered the price of those. I think they were $20K before, and now they're $10K, if I'm not mistaken. But by the time I get this video uploaded, that pack will no longer be in the pack store. But the Ducks on the Pond Elite pack will be, and there's some really good players in there. There are also some pretty good players in the Headliner packs from set 11 through 50, and the Beach Ball pack will also be available. One thing to keep in mind, you might want to purchase Max Scherzer if you have him, or if you have enough stubs to buy him. His price should drop a little bit during that 4 p.m. time frame, or 7 p.m. Eastern time, and you might be able to make some stubs that way, because that was the last Headliner released into packs. I'm just throwing it out there. It might not work as well as I think, but I'm also making the video on it so other people will know about that as well. This is the team that I'm rocking with. Just wanted to show you my team and kind of how all these cards fit from today, and all the players that were released today. And I also wanted to talk about how the Battle Royale player would fit right in the lineup pretty well. I don't necessarily know if I will purchase this one, because I would expect all the Battle Royale cards to be worth around 1 million stubs from here on out, especially if they release one player at a time, and if they're going to have elite legends or elite players as those rewards. Another thing to keep in mind is that we want to predict players that were included in the inning programs from MLB The Show 19, because the developers have kind of gone with that trend throughout this year in selecting legends that were selected for those inning programs in last year. So with that being said, I know I've predicted Willie Mays for a lot of things, and I'm not going with Willie Mays in this one. And honestly, if I was mistaken and they did go with this card as the BR reward, I know a lot of people would be upset because they never got to use him last year, and he would be really tough to get this year as well. I would purchase the card for 1 million stubs, hands down, and I know a lot of other people would too, most likely. So honestly, I don't think they will go with Willie Mays for this reward. Even though I predicted Willie Mays as a previous Flawless Battle Royale reward, I think this time around we're going to get Ken Griffey Jr. Now, I'm showing the Immortal Ken Griffey Jr. because I think that this one was the best Ken Griffey Jr. we've ever had in any MLB The Show. This card played like the best card in the entire game that year, and was just honestly incredible. I thought him and Babe Ruth were two of the best cards we've ever seen in MLB The Show. You could also include Carlos Beltran from 17, but there's a few guys, Reggie Stalker as well. But I thought this card was the most fun to use. I mean, everyone would bring in a lefty against him, and he had better stats against lefties. Anyway, the reason why I think we're going to get Ken Griffey Jr. as a BR reward is because he already has 3 cards released into the game, one of which is a 98 overall Home Run Derby card that you get by collecting a variety of other Home Run Derby cards, and they just released that pack in the flash sale back into the pack store. And I think that that's kind of, a little subtle clue. I might be overthinking that a little bit, but the other clues, or at least the other trends, make sense, right? We have, a variety of versions of Griffey already. He was an inning boss last year. He was released around the middle of the game, or in the 6th inning program, I believe. And I think that we'll end up getting one as a BR reward. We have this World Series reward, Ken Griffey Jr., I mean, of course, they could release Griffey as, more of a free option, or more of a surprise type of program like they did with Babe Ruth. I just don't see it. I'm thinking I'm leaning towards the BR reward, and I think that that's got to be my prediction. We do have a couple other players, though, to include. I just kind of wanted to go through the different versions of Griffey, because as you can see, I mean, even this card will play really well. Maybe not on the higher difficulties within the game, just because of the lower contact attribute, but I think one of the reasons why they gave us this Griffey a couple months ago was for people that could unlock him and then maybe not necessarily get the BR one if that's who they select, right? Because he's still a 98, he's still good. I'm going to show you the Signature Series 99 Griffey that we got last year, and honestly, when you compare them, you can still use this 98 Griffey. I think, and I hope that we'll get a Griffey with a little bit more power than this one, just because that Home Run Derby Griffey has 125 against both sides. I'm hoping that he has closer to 120 power, maybe 115 against lefties, 120 against righties, something like that. That would be pretty cool. Sometimes we'll have a Griffey with better stats against lefties like we saw with the Immortal, but I guess it's just up to, the developers and how they select or who they decide to go with. But 96 fielding would be great. The same type of attributes there would be fine. 84 speed is great and would play really well in this year's game. The other player I'm thinking about, or legend that I'm thinking, is Bob Gibson, right? If they decide to go with the pitcher, then it would most likely be Bob Gibson with Outlier. We have to keep in mind that the last player they chose was Johnny Bench, so that's a position player. They might go with a pitcher, and I'll probably, predict Bob Gibson for that one. That would be the one that makes the most sense for me. But honestly, I'm hoping that we get another hitter. Whenever they go with the pitcher as a BR reward, it just doesn't bring as much hype, I don't think. Simply because you're not able to use that card every game, obviously. And the way stamina is set up this year, you could use a pitcher for a game or an inning, and the opponent could quit, and that could be it for the next 3 to 4 games, depending on the durability attribute, how much stamina they're replenishing in between games. There's a lot of factors that go into that, especially relievers, and the fact that they can only throw 15 pitches, 20 pitches before they're tired, even in a ranked seasons game. So we have to keep that in mind. Another legend that I think they could go with is Chipper Jones. We already have the Chipper Jones from the inning program in this year's game in MLB The Show 20, and it's more likely that we would get this card later on in the year. And the Chipper Jones card would not go along with the trend of the developers selecting Battle Royale players that were, included in these inning programs from last year, right? I mean, we have a bunch of players that are much tougher to get. Some of these guys are World Series rewards. Some of these guys are Battle Royale rewards. And some of them are also, face of the franchise legends and other things, like Lou Gehrig there for the extreme moments, Conquest and Showdown. We also saw, Goose Gossage was included in the first inning program. The Signature Series was Moments Extreme last year, and now he's still tough to get because you have to play the event. So there's just a few things that are different, with how they're releasing some of these cards. So we kind of have to go with some of the trend, but we can also include a couple options that might not fit that trend because we truly never know. I mean, I'm just making these guesses. I'm going off of some information, but I'm just pretty much, giving you guys my thoughts and my ideas. Now, I have been right about quite a few predictions this year. I've been able to kind of pick and choose and think to myself, how are they going to release these players? When? Around what time are we going to get some of these players? Some of which I was incorrect. I thought we would get some big name legends released a little bit earlier, and my timing was just off a little bit sometimes. And I'll admit, when I was jumping the gun, I've admitted, when I've been off on some of the things, I'm not afraid to be mistaken on these predictions, but I'm just kind of giving you my thoughts on who I think we're going to get, who are the potential options, but I got to make one selection, right? So I got to go with Griffey. I think Griffey Jr. would be the best card to release as the BR reward, and, that might allow other people to get Willie Mays a little bit earlier, or easier, I should say, and also maybe, unlock Bob Gibson in a different way this year. I don't know. I'm thinking that we'll get Griffey because we already have 3 Griffey cards. That's really the main thing, and he was an inning boss. But I know I said that a couple times. I just want to clarify everything that I'm saying in the video because sometimes we'll have people guessing cards that have no chance to be the reward, or players that aren't necessarily in the game or might not be in the game. So